Hello, everyone. Welcome to Ascentria Foster Care's 5 Ways to Help Foster Youth webinar. You are in the right place if you came today to learn about foster children in the state of Massachusetts and how you could make a difference in the lives of these deserving children. So we're going to introduce ourselves in a moment, but first I wanted to share a little bit about who Ascentria is. Ascentria Care Alliance is one of the largest human services nonprofits in New England. We're in all of the New England states but Rhode Island. But today we'll be focusing on our Massachusetts foster care programs. And in Massachusetts, we have the Unaccompanied Refugee Minors Program, as well as an intensive foster care program. So 2 unique programs with unique children in need of support. And if you have any specific questions about either of those programs, please feel free to send them our way in the chat today or follow up with us via email after this webinar. But without further ado, we can introduce ourselves and our agenda. So we will start with a little introduction, and then we're going to get into the 5 ways to help foster children. But we will be sure to leave time at the end for Q&A. This is a short webinar today. We'll be wrapped up by 12:30. So we'll be sure to cover a lot in a short amount of time, but hopefully get out of here on time to respect your schedules. And sorry for this slide, I'm going to actually stay here for a minute and I'll introduce myself. So my name is Colleen Schroth. I'm the Community Outreach Manager at Ascentria Children and Family Services. So I help to recruit foster families for all of our programs.
Hello, everyone. My name's Melissa, and I am the program coordinator for Ascentria Intensive Foster Care, and I help match waiting youth with our open foster homes.
Awesome. All right, so let's start with our steps then. With our ways to help. So really the first and foremost way that you can help foster children in Massachusetts is by becoming a foster parent. And so there's about 10,000 children in foster care in Massachusetts, including the youth in our programs here at Ascentria. And unfortunately, across the Commonwealth and across our country, there's really a shortage of foster homes. So we realize it is a big commitment and a big ask, but we would be remiss if we didn't mention that we are urgently seeking foster families for these youth. We are actively placing youth into homes every day. We are reviewing referrals of new children in need of placement every day. So it's definitely a pressing and urgent need at Ascentria for more foster families. We have a whole nother webinar on our website. You can view the recording on the 8 steps of how to become a foster parent. There is a training, an application, and a home study process to become licensed in Massachusetts. So we could absolutely walk you through that and provide more information if you're interested. But it is really a lifelong commitment with the youth and really expanding your family and opening up your lives to a child in need. So if that interests you or anyone that you know, please don't hesitate to reach out to us or to share our information with somebody who might like to take this step. So that is way number 1, and here is way number 2. Oh, Melissa, you're still on mute. Sorry.
Sorry, everyone. So number 2 is volunteer as a tutor or a mentor. So for tutoring and mentoring, we look to match mentors and tutors with youth at their request. This has shifted from an in-person format to an online format more recently. We also have different volunteer opportunities that change throughout the year. This can include things such as gift wrapping, as well as assisting at Ascentria hosted events throughout the year for youth and families. And that is opportunity number 2.
Great. Thanks, Melissa. The third way that you can help foster youth is by making a financial contribution. So Ascentria Care Alliance is a nonprofit. We're a 501c3 registered agency. So all donations to our programs are tax deductible. And there's a lot of different needs that may come up for youth. And while there certainly is funding to care for the children's basic needs, sometimes additional expenses come up. And it's really beneficial when we have a little bit of funding to help youth with prom and graduation expenses. You know, maybe they want a really special prom dress that's more expensive than the clothing they are usually purchasing. Or maybe they want, maybe we want to acknowledge them with a graduation party. You know, last year we had about 20 youth graduate from high school, and so it was really special to celebrate those youth and offer some additional program events to celebrate those youth. And we're really only able to do that with the support of donors like you. So if you are at all interested in donating, you can visit our website, ascentria.org. You'll be provided with a link in an email follow-up later today if that's something that interests you. And we're also starting a scholarship program for our Unaccompanied Refugee Minors Program, which is really beneficial for some youth who unfortunately do not qualify for financial aid to attend college. So scholarships are another great area of need for financial contributions. So if any of that interests you, definitely check out our website and you can select a specific program at Ascentria that you want your donation to go to, for those of you that might feel like that's the way for you to become involved, and it does truly make a big difference in the lives of our kids.
So way to help number 4 is to donate. So all of our kids receive funds that help care for their basic needs, things such as food and clothes. So for example, our kids receive clothing funds, which come each season for them to refresh their wardrobe and get whatever they might need for that particular season. What we don't have as much funds for is specialty items. So we have a Amazon wish list, which individuals are able to browse and see what is currently on there as far as needs for our youth. These items on the wish list come directly from youth. They let us know what they are in need of, and we're able to post it there on the wish list. You will receive a link to our Amazon wish list in the follow-up email after this webinar. Some items that are typically on our wish list or that we've had on our wish list in the past include apartment necessities for our youth who are transitioning to independent living. So things like pots and pans, cleaning supplies. We also have had needs for baby supplies for teen moms. So those have also been on there as well. And again, this wish list is updated regularly with the request of our youth, and the items ship directly to Ascentria. Some other things that we've done in the past or have needed in the past as far as donations is backpacks and school supplies for youth. So we actually just wrapped up our backpack drive for this season, but that is definitely a need every year for our youth. We also do a wish list for youth around the holiday season and around birthdays. So families are able to sponsor a youth. They receive information about a youth's likes, dislikes, some items that they might be interested in, and they're able to sponsor. So if you are interested in potentially sponsoring a youth for the holidays, don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach out via the follow-up email to this webinar. And that is way number 4 to help.
Great, thank you, Melissa. And yeah, before we move on from that step, I think this is a really concrete way for community members to become involved. You know, we've had schools run donation drives. Just last year, we did like a laundry detergent drive because laundry detergent is really expensive, and for our older youth who are living on college campuses or in independent living settings, that's really beneficial. So yes, definitely, this is probably one of my favorite ways where we can see the community become involved. And it might sound crazy to be talking about the holiday season already. We have around 200 kids in our Ascentria, Massachusetts foster care programs. So that's a lot of presents to gather, you know, with each of them having maybe 2 or 3 items that they've requested and just trying to fulfill as many wish lists for the holidays as we can. So if you have a church group or if you have a book club or any type of network that might like to come together and give for the holidays, that might be a really special way to contribute an item that's going to go directly into the hands of one of our kids. So that's what I think is really special about in-kind donations, is we make sure they get right to the kids. So again, like Melissa said, please follow up with us if that's something you're interested in, because before you know it, we'll be approaching the new year in that holiday season. And the last way that you can help foster children in Massachusetts, whether they're at Ascentria, whether they're at the state child welfare program, is to help spread the word. So obviously, as a nonprofit, we do not have $1 million to spend on a Super Bowl ad or a big billboard. So we really have to spread the word about our programs through word of mouth in the community. And you can definitely help with that, even if you have never been a foster parent, or even if you are still learning yourself. You can invite your friends and people in your network to learn too, and really become sort of an unofficial advocate for foster children in your community. So after today, we'll be sharing today's webinar recording. You could forward that to some of your friends. You know, if you're part of a church group, or if you're part of a business or a company that has, you know, a community outreach department, you know, you could let them know about us and really help us spread the word. We're also happy to visit at those types of groups and do specialized info sessions just for your network. So if that's something you're interested in, we could arrange that as well. I'll actually be visiting a private school in November to do a presentation to their parents. So if you have any types of connections like that, that's really valuable. Forwarding our emails, you know, telling people about us. And then we're also very active on social media. Ascentria has a Facebook page at Ascentria Care, and also has an Instagram page at Ascentria Care Alliance. So you could follow us on those platforms and you could share our content. Every Friday, we have what's called a Foster Care Friday post that highlights foster care and the needs of our children. So you could definitely share that, and then everyone in your social network would also see that. And that's really valuable, just trying to spread the word. Again, there's, you know, over 10,000 children in Massachusetts in foster care. So this impacts literally thousands of children and families. And it's really important that our community come together and be aware of these youth and their needs. You know, there's a great saying in our world that says, talking about foster care helps children in foster care. So just being a person who starts these kind of conversations is really valuable too. And I think you all are on a great start because you showed up to this today, you listened today. And all of the ways we've shared today are incredibly valuable and valid ways to help foster children. So we thank you for listening. So with that, you know, we have come to the close of our webinar. We were very efficient today, you know, got through the material pretty quickly, but we are very happy to answer any questions that come in. I don't see any right now, so please, feel free to reach out to us via email if you would like to ask a follow-up question or learn more about any of these 5 ways. But I thank you all for your time. I thank you, Melissa, for joining us. And hopefully this is just the beginning of the conversation, and we look forward to hearing from you in the future. So thank you all.